this topic came about in one of my conversations with Braj Mohan Prabhu. We both were having a conversation in the DT room. Brahmacharis have a lot of hiding places of doing conversations. Gohyam akhyati prachyati. And then we were just discussing. And then just suddenly this one title came. And then I didn't really pay attention to it. But then contemplating upon it, I said, okay, that sounds like a good title. And people were asking, diamond, batne wala bhi hai kya? Is it against credit card number or is it free? So the immortal diamond, a tale of human ambition. Ambition means a strong desire to do something or achieve something. Right? All of us have some ambitions in life. As conscious beings, we all have the tendency to desire, to aspire for attaining something. And man's ambitious nature has transformed the face of earth as we see it. Civilizations have sprung up, inventions have happened, discoveries have taken place, all because humans have this innate tendency to have ambition, to be able to do something, to leave a mark on the world. And when we put a human face to your aspirations, it brings them alive. And then it is easier to pursue them. It's easier to, go behind them. Like in the traditional times, in order to understand what the nature of a person is, they used to do a samskar. When this child is really small, then, they kind of keep several articles, grains, weapons, books, different kind of articles. And the article that the child picks up, then you understand whether it's an intellectual, whether it's an administrator, whether it's a mercantile, whether it's, he will look for a job. I don't want to use the word, but... So Kali Yuga is so topsy-turvy. So basically this one boy once, one couple in the South Bombay were relating their experience that how the child, when they did this ceremony for them, the child first picked up a teddy bear. Teddy bear? I don't know why they kept it, but they kept a teddy bear. I don't know what did that denote. So they had a teddy bear, and the child picked up a teddy bear, and people were very happy, a very soft-hearted person. And then he picked up a knife and pierced him. And the parents were like aghast. What is he going to be? So Kali Yuga is a topsy-turvy thing. So even, people's role models keep changing with the season. Sometimes it is Bahubali, sometimes it is toilet, Prem Katha. Things keep changing over a period of time. The Bollywood has a lot of influence on how we think and behave. So let's look at people driven by ambition, really driven by ambition, who have made a mark in the world, right? So we have, all of you know him? The spaceman of India, Dr. Kalam. And he made a nice statement once. He said that dreams is not what you see while you are sleeping. Dream is not what you see while you are sleeping. Dream is something that don't let you sleep. So if you go to Andheri metro station, they have kept it there. Andheri metro station पे लिखा. पर क्या करें? WhatsApp से time ही नहीं मिलता ऊपर देखने का. लोग इतना एक्सपर्ट हो गए, सिर में GPS लगा हुआ है, ऐसा देख के चलते हैं सब. टकराते भी नहीं एक दूसरे से. Really powerful. पूरा स्पीड से दादर के ब्रिज पे शाम को 7 बजे. It's like an offense to look into WhatsApp, but still people navigate. Very expert. Indians can do anything, right? So somebody was commenting that how Kalam was able to do so many wonderful things because he was like that kind of person who really wanted to enjoy his freedom for life. So he said because he was single. So one of his friends quoted, he said, there are 3 kinds of men in the world. He quoted that and I was listening. He said, there are 3 kinds of men in this world. Some remain single and make wonders happen. Some remain single and make wonders happen. Some have girlfriends and see wonders happen. And some get married and wonder what happened. So that was the euphoria of young men, they think like that. How can you deny him? And believe me, if you don't believe in his ambition, you may be in trouble, right? So many ambitions, make in India, Swachh Bharat, and then so many things, digital India, demonetization. So many things have happened, right? Like my father was telling me, beta, demonetization, there had been one benefit of demonetization, which is very evident. I said, what happened? He said, all the husbands came to know how much money their wives had. If you would have asked something on 7th November, जैसे पैसा नहीं है, but 8th November को जैसे announcement हुआ, everything was on the table. इसको exchange करा लेना कल को, right? So like someone, my husband was saying that I had my credit card which was stolen. So किसने पूछा FIR क्यों नहीं किया? कह रहे यार जिसने चुराया है वो मेरी पत्नी से कम खर्च कर रहा है. So still it is better. Let it be with the thief only. If it comes back, my better half may have a big chunk of it, right? Indian cricket team, 2011, one Khede, right here, stone's throw. And right in the morning from 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, there were people coming and doing like this, giving flying kiss to Krishna. भगवान आज जिता देना बस, आज click करा दो बस किस तरीके से, right? And then there was, right on the edge of the seats, everybody was, and then I'll kind of listened it later on. Of course, many brahmacharis were also keeping track of the scores, but I cannot give details of the inside story so much. रहना है मेरे को इधर, right? But then Dhoni hit that 6, and then euphoria. Indians won the game, and the World Cup was in their hands, right? They had a dream, they had an ambition, and they lived for it, dreamed for it. How can you ignore him? Right? Steve Jobs. He wanted to think different. Created a Mac. Right? Apple. State-of-art technology. Something that you can move on with the palm of your hand. Amazing. Ambition. Martin Luther King. That famous speech that he gave at the Nelson Square. I have a dream. He was talking about racism and this and that. He had an ambition to free America from this racist mentality. Worked hard. You know this guy? You may not know this guy. His name is Jason Lewis. And this gentleman, recently, last year, he visited Govardhan Eco Village. And he's quite an interesting personality. He launched a program called Expedition 360, in which he went around the globe only on human power. No motorized power. Which meant he cycled across the continents and pedaled across the oceans. Pedal boat hota na? So he was saying that for 30 days he was stuck in the Atlantic Ocean, not moving anywhere. 30 days or 1 week or something like that. Because the currents were such that he will pedal and he will sleep at night and then next morning again he's back at the same spot. So I asked him, how did you know you're at the same spot? Itna bada samudra kaise pata chala? So they have some compass and they figure out that they're at the same spot. Pedaled, attacked by a crocodile, attacked by malaria, schizophrenia, attacked by certain governments, not allowed, hitchhiked somehow. Circled the globe with this ambition. He wanted to make everyone aware of the importance of sustainability and zero carbon emission life. Right? हमें तो यहाँ से ग्रैंड रोड के लिए टैक्सी लगती है. Right? सुन के भी नहीं बदलते हम लोग. Right? It's actually quite amazing. Life has become we have such fast gadgets. We would never communicate so fast earlier. We have such fast gadgets and such fast this and that. Still we have no time. How is that? You have fast means of communication, you have fast means of talking to people, and then you're left with no time. Something wrong somewhere, right? So this gentleman had a great ambition of, this is not a blank slide. Some of you might dream to have one like that. Ferrari or Lamborghini. At least dowry mein aa jaye. When I joined the Institute of Science, and then, we were all geared up for research, passion, 20-year-old young men, out there to transform India. सब ऐसे सोचते, 21 में सब ऐसे सोचते हैं, बस हिंदुस्तान का भी आखिरी 10 साल है खराब, फिर तो मैं बदलने वाला हूँ. हिंदुस्तान तो बदलता नहीं, वो बदल जाता है. So 21-year-olds, we were like spirited. So I was like talking to everybody, said, what is your inspiration to come to Indian Institute of Science? And then somebody said, research and this and that. I was like, wow, this is the place of C.V. Raman, next Nobel laureate. Idhar hi kahin ghum raha hai shayad. And there was this one gentleman from, no offense, but Andhra Pradesh, and he was like sitting in a corner fiddling with his, that time there were no smartphones, was fiddling with something. And I went and asked him, so what's your inspiration to come here? He just looked at me and smiled in some Telugu actor's style, which I didn't understood. And then he said, dowry. And I was like pushed back 5 feet. He said, what do you mean? And he said, look, it's very simple. If you do BTech from a local college, you have like 7 lakh rupees worth. If you do BTech from IIT, then this is the category. If you do MTech from IIT, then this is. If you're MTech from ISC, then this. If you're MTech from ISC and US return, then this slot. So I'm just leveraging myself. After that, I never spoke to him. He would have changed my motivation also. But this interesting ambition, Lamborghini, his name was Ferruccio Lamborghini, he was into tractor business. So his tractor business was booming in the 1960s, agricultural revolution. And he got a lot of profit, a lot of money, so he thought, let me, buy a Ferrari for myself. Let me enjoy, let me buy a Ferrari for myself. So he went and bought a Ferrari. And then when he drove the Ferrari, because he himself was from automobile industry, he said that there are certain things which can be made better to make this car much more versatile. So he went back to Enzo, who was the owner, the designer, Enzo Ferrari, and he said, blah, 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 blah. So if you just make these changes in your car will become super excellent, world class. And Enzo said, he said, come on, I don't have to take feedbacks from a tractor manufacturer. We are Ferrari, man. We are some standard. Tractor wale chalega. So, Lamborghini, he was not disappointed. He said, okay, if you say so. And then he went back home and he decided, let me put all the feedbacks and input that I've given him into my own car. And that's 46 years is a history. You have the world's best car, sometimes much more better in competing with Ferrari, Lamborghini. Ambition. दिखाएंगे तुम्हें. हमारी नहीं सुनाना, हम दिखाएंगे तुम्हें. आप पर मैं होते तो फेसबुक पोस्ट करके भूल जाते, छोड़ो यार काय को देने का. Right? Startup idea, कोई ले लो, उठा लो. Right? You can make a car like that. This gentleman, Narayan Krishnan, he was a chef in a 5-star hotel, and then at one day he had he had that motivation, that inspiration that he should take care of the homeless and without any food, and he started cooking and distributing food in Tamil Nadu, in Madurai district. He does that still. So he has this foundation called Akshay Trust. His ambition is save my people. I want to save my people. That's it. So he shaves them, he bathes them, he feeds them. ऐसे करता रहता सारा दिन. Right? So very inspirational. He had some ambition to pursue. So is ambition bad or good? What do you think? How many of you think ambition is bad word? Raise your hands. How many think ambition is good word? बाकी सब चल रही है चक्की चलने दो. काय प्रभु जी फायदा नहीं कुछ एम्बिशन सोच के. पैसा कमाएंगे, मोदी जी डिमोनेटाइज कर देंगे, हो गया, सब पप्पू हो जाएगा उधर. राइट? श्री राधा गोपीनाथ जी की जय, श्री गौरनिताय की जय, श्री गोपाल जी की जय. Ambition becomes bad only when it crosses the line of ethics and enters the realm of greed. So we'll look at a small clipping. It's a nice gentleman named Steve Cutts who made this nice video on what humans have done to the planet Earth. Like, there was one biologist in Harvard, and his name was E.O. Wilson. And he said, there is one species. If you remove any species from the ecological systems, it's actually going to disturb the ecological balance of the Earth. He said, there is one species, if it removed, nothing wrong will happen to the planet. Guess who? He said, human beings. If removed from the planet, there is only positivity. Right? Hare Krishna. No need to clap, this is our story. Now I'm saying, no need to clap, this is our story. हम कर रहे हैं सब. So, though being ambitious can actually lead us to the gateway of greed, but if you look at normal life, you need ambitions to keep the mind engaged. Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita, when he's talking about chapter 2, text 66, he actually talks about that disturbance of the mind is because of want of a goal. When you don't have an ambition to pursue, then mind gets distracted. And that's what happens to many youth in the world today. So one gentleman said, all intelligence without ambition is a bird without wings. If you don't have ambition, you will not actually utilize your intelligence and do something incredible. But all of the above ambitions, even the good ones, they generally end with time. The person who is doing them may not survive, or there will be somebody else who may supersede, or it will be destroyed by some other catastrophes. So all success stories are stories of pursuing an ambition and have some various valuable lessons to teach. People want to read about Wings of Fire or Steve Jobs and all these autobiographies to get inspired and do something incredible in their life. And generally our ambitions are function of our knowledge, of what we know, right? Based on what we know, then we have certain kind of knowledge. Like in one small town in eastern India, I won't name the state, but you can figure out. There was some big celebration going on, DJ was running, and then there was this गांव का छोरा का IAS selection हो गया था. He got selected in Indian Administrative Services, UPSC. So he's going to be a big person in the bureaucracy. And they were all celebrating and this and that. And there were two old gentlemen sitting on the corner smoking the hookah. And then one said, थोड़ा और पढ़ लेता तो मास्टर बन जाता. For him, becoming a headmaster in the school is a higher position than becoming an IAS officer. Right? So our ambition is based on our knowledge. So like some of you may have ambitions. Like what ambitions you will have? Get a job. नहीं पहले उससे पहले पास हो जाओ. उधर से चालू होता है. पहले एडमिशन मिले, फिर पास हो जाओ, फिर नौकरी लग जाए, राइट? फिर कोई मिल जाए, फिर कोई मिल गया, फिर दिल मांगे मोर. It continues. Ambition just continues. ये क्या हुआ, right? You get married, right? And then you live your life. Ambition just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But ultimately, what do we ambition? Maybe a penthouse in Malabar Hills. That's what you want, right? Some 100 crores. और क्या चाहिए? हंस रहे सब लोग, प्रभु जी. इतना भी नहीं सोचते हम, right? We are very humble. We want 2 BHK only in somewhere suburbs. Or a car and then obedient kids and lovely wife, right? That's where you actually stop. However, Vedic system says that you have the capacity to be super ambitious. Sometimes people have this misunderstanding that if I come to Krishna consciousness, my ambition will be lost. I lose the steam, as they say. And sometimes, especially after seeing us and hearing the introduction, so the doubts become confirmed. एक तो मेरे पास वाकई आप पास I was giving a class in SPC hostel, and then one guy, it was a one-time program, really very serious. He came up to me and said, "Sir, क्या हुआ?" क्या हुआ? कह रहे ये सब और ये क्या हुआ? कोई थी क्या? मैंने कहा, I am happy, what is your problem? Just get the knowledge what we are trying to share. So ambition is not bad properly if it is properly directed. So today we shall see a story from the ancient text giving account of the ambition of a young boy. And I know some of you might have guessed from the poster whom I'm going to talk about. Whom I'm going to talk about? Huh? Rocky Handsome. Dhruv Maharaj. Right? About a person, a tiny boy who had an ambition par excellence. Nobody can even conceive of such an ambition. And how his life's journey progressed, the lessons that we can derive in our own personal lives, and in our pursuance of our own ambitions. So I'll go through certain scenes in the sense what is happening in the life of Dhruv Maharaj. So here is Dhruv Maharaj, who is the Lord Brahma, had many sons. One of his sons was Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu had 5 children, 3 daughters, 2 sons: Priyavrat, Uttanpad, Akuti, Prasuti, and Devhuti. Priyavrat Maharaj had a different plan, so he went to the forest following Narad Muni. He had some other ambitions. And Uttanpad became the king. Uttanpad had 2 wives, Suniti and Suruchi. Suruchi was very beautiful, very attractive, and Uttanpad Maharaj had some special, attraction for the beautiful one. Don't worry, you won't have that problem of options. तुम एक संभाल लो, right? So, Suniti was not such, endearing to Uttanpad Maharaj. One fine day, Maharaj Uttanpad is sitting in his palace on the throne, and then the son of Suruchi, whose name was Uttam, the good one, the pleasurable one, he was playing on the lap of his father. And then Dhruva also came jumping. He's a 5-year-old boy. What excitement he has. He just wants to be on the lap of his father. So he just runs up to Uttanpad, and Uttanpad doesn't welcome him. And when Suruchi sees that Uttanpad is not welcoming Dhruva, she starts speaking in very loud voice so that it's audible to the king. And she says, Dhruva, what kind of impudence? Do you think, being born from that wretched woman, you have the right to sit on the lap of your father, lap of the king? Unless you take birth from my womb, you cannot sit on the lap of your father. Dhruva was devastated. Tiny boy. Only his aspiration was, Pitaji ki god mein baithna hai. He was totally devastated. Suniti represents morality. Right? Suruchi represents sensuality. The difference between what is right and what I like. Maharaj Uttanpad represents a personality who has, weak internally, therefore he always chooses what I over what is right. हम में से कितने लोगों ने ऐसा किया है अपने जीवन में? We chose what I like over what is right. सबको मालूम है सेमेस्टर की शुरुआत से पढ़ाई करनी चाहिए. हर उस एग्जाम की रात को जब किताब लगती है नई नई और याद नहीं आता इसका टीचर कौन था, किताबों से नई नई खुशबू आती है, तब मन एक दृढ़ संकल्प लेता है, अगली बार जैसे ही सेमेस्टर शुरू होगा पहले दिन प्रोफेसर के पढ़ाने से पहले पढ़ के जाऊंगा. इसे कहते हैं इल्यूजन, माया. That which is not, it's not possible. So we are overcome with this dilemma of what is right and what I like. Morality gives birth to determination. Suniti gave birth to Dhruva. Dhruva means determined one. So when you do what is right, you get determined in life. But when you follow what you like, you get some pleasure, but you become weak. Right? So in life, when we focus on what we like, then we compromise on what is right. It's the difference between a pleasure versus purpose-centered living. Right? Just do it. Right? ये जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा. Enjoy life king size. Right? This is pleasure-centered living. Purpose-centered living is where you have a certain purpose to actually pursue in life. And now in a city like Bombay, with most of you, how many of you are below 24? A lot of people are below 24. So, there is a lot of hope when you're below 24. मैं भी था एक बार 24 का, कसम से झूठ नहीं बोल रहा. And there is a lot of hope when you're just 24 and below, of making some difference, enjoying life, you're pushing things, it's going to work for me at least. It does not work for others, that's their problem. But अपुन की लाइफ में होगा, right? And in this city of Bombay, many young boys, they actually come from, remote towns in Maharashtra, and they're like very, very sober, very, very, like दूध के धुले हुए एकदम ऐसा. वो हमें भी नज़र उठा के नहीं देखते हैं, तो औरों को तो भूल ही जाओ, नज़र उठा के देखेगा, right? And his mother, and he will say, मम्मी ने कहा था बेटा गलत काम मत करना, बेटा पिताजी का नाम रोशन करना है, पढ़ाई करना मेरे लाल, खून पसीने की कमाई से पिताजी भेज रहे हैं उसको कॉलेज में, बेटा बस किताब में ध्यान लगाना और कहीं मत लगाना. और लड़का बोलता है बिल्कुल माँ ऐसा ही होगा, और पहले सेमेस्टर में ऐसा ही होता है. पर कब तक? इस बंबई की टेम्पटेशन की भीषण गर्मी में कब तक तुम्हारे मोम की दृढ़ता रहेगी बनी हुई? पिघल जाती है वो. मेल्ट्स अवे. मम्मी ने कहा था, पर माँ तो बहुत दूर है अभी माँ को भविष्य में बुढ़ापे में आराम करने के लिए बहू की आवश्यकता है. मैं सर्च जारी कर दिया हूँ. आई एम जस्ट टेस्टिंग विच वन विल वर्क एज पर माई मदर्स एक्सपेक्टेशन, राइट? यू कांट रेजिस्ट. इट्स टू टफ. With just some mundane morality, it is too tough to live a purpose-centered life in the world with all this internet. बाप रे बाप, जेब में ही तूफान है, कहीं जाने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. हे भगवान, क्या क्या हो सकता है. दुर्घटना, पहले नजर हटी दुर्घटना घटी होती थी, अभी नजर हटे तो बचे. नजर वो स्क्रीन में लगी रहती है आदमी की. According to statistical analysis, 5 hours every day a young teenager spends on social networking. 5 hours every day. और उसको बोलो 16 माला कर, टाइम नहीं प्रभु जी. मैंने कहा उनका लेखा खा रखा है तो उन्हें तो टाइम कहाँ मिलेगा फेसबुक में फॉरवर्ड करने के अलावा. फेसबुक में सब फॉरवर्ड ही करते, पढ़ता कोई नहीं है, राइट? सो दिस इज प्लेजर सेंटर्ड लिविंग, एंड देन पीपल आर नॉट एबल टू. Krishna is saying to Arjuna, Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupasthitam anarya jushtama swargyam akirtim karam Arjuna. Oh my dear Arjun, you are an Aryan, you understand what the purpose of life. How have these impurities come upon you? Those who understand what the purpose of life, they don't behave like this. So people who don't have a purpose in life, they get distracted. Right? They get distracted with this. Temptation are there for everybody. But people who have a purpose, they have the ability to say no. And people who don't have a purpose, they have no reason to say no. क्यों मना करूं इसे? कितना तो inviting है सब. Right? So therefore, we have to live a life of purpose. Explore your whys. Don't just succumb to your conditionings and circumstances. प्रभु जी क्या करें? वो भी तो भगवान की क्रिएशन है. मेरी क्या गलती? वो भी तो भगवान की क्रिएशन. तो मैं उसको बोला कोबरा भी तो भगवान की क्रिएशन है, लपेट ले गले में. नहीं लपेटेगा. कैसे लपेटेगा? वहाँ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन आ जाता है, राइट? सो देयरफॉर people, young men, they are being victimized because they don't live a life of purpose, right? And they are being victimized royally through the internet, through the pornography industry. People are just destroying their lives, destroying their career, destroying their mental balance because they don't have a purpose to pursue. Just pleasure-centered living. You don't see a reason to say no. So Tanpad, he neglects Dhruva Maharaj's attempt to actually sit on the lap, and later Dhruva leaves. So when we are attached to enjoyment, you become internally weak, basically. That's what was happening with Uttanpad. Then we cannot pursue what is right, and the determination actually goes down. So Uttanpad's actions were very unthoughtful. He was just worried about what will Suruchi feel. He was not really bothered about what will Dhruva feel. You basically become insensitive and strain relationship when you are actually attached to just selfish pursuits. You lose your friends, you lose your loved ones just because you get attached to a certain kind of enjoyment. So, when you are tempted to do something wrong, right, then think of the consequences. Ask yourself this question that, is this what I want? And at what cost? Like Radheshyam Prabhu says, when there are temptations all around you, you should ask yourself, how much and how long can I enjoy this? And you should ask yourself this question, what will I do in this situation if I am not tempted? Correct? If you're not tempted, what will you do in this situation? Mostly you just walk by. Right? And generally in Krishna consciousness, you follow the 4 regs, right? No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. And everybody knows 3 are easy to follow. वो चौथे में बड़ा प्रॉब्लम होता है. पूछो मत प्रभु जी चौथा वाला कौन सा, क्यों प्रॉब्लम होता है? बस प्रभु जी मंदिर है ऐसी बात नहीं करते, राइट? शुभ शुभ बात करनी चाहिए सब, अच्छा अच्छा. But that is the reason that internal weakness actually lowers your determination to practice devotional service also. You know, still you can't do, that is the sign of internal weakness. We keep falling, we keep giving up. That's all because we're not internally very strong. So don't compromise your values. Live a value-driven lifestyle. How is that going to happen? That we shall see as we move forward. So Dhruva becomes very angry. Not exactly like this, but something like this. So when our expectations are checked, we become very frustrated and angry. Kama esha, krodha esha. As soon as expectations are checked, anger surfaces. So for Dhruva, sitting on the lap of father was a sign of security, right, success. That was a success for him. But then he was denied, and that made him angry and depressed. Happens with us? How many of you ever have felt frustration and anger? ये प्रोफेसर मुझे नंबर क्यों नहीं देता है? सबको नंबर बांट रहा है, मुझे नहीं दे रहा है, right? So many things we can actually become angry about. Expectations are actually seeds of frustration. Asha hi paramam dukkham, Bhagavatam says. And there's a nice story of a farmer who was very poor and was living a very happy life. And one day one king was happened to pass by with his entourage and he asked his ministry, इतना खुश क्यों है? इसके पास तो कुछ भी नहीं है. इतना खुश, मैं इतना सब कुछ है तब भी परेशान. तो लोगों को खुश देख के भी परेशानी होती है लोगों को. ये इतना खुश क्यों है? तेरी क्या प्रॉब्लम है? तेरे से तू कुछ मांग रहा है. But then minister said, my dear Lord, he is not a member of the 99 club. He said, what does that mean? 99 club? He said, give me 1 month and 100 gold coins. Hey, do, बताता हूँ. So the king gave him 100 gold coins, and that day night, the minister sent somebody to drop a nice, royal-looking cushioned velvet cover and put it in front of the gate of the farmer. And next day morning, the farmer got up. He wanted to go, and then he saw this red velvet, golden embroidered, heavy pouch. Picked it up, brought it inside, latched the door, emptied the contents, started counting. 97, 98, 99. 99. He called his wife, Bhagyavani Dhara. Count kar. She also counted 99. That teregi. 100 क्यों नहीं है इसमें? And she said, lock it up, put it under the ground, nobody should see it. Now let's work hard to get that 1 gold coin. And he started working hard, sweating by the bro, really not spending any time with the family, messing up the relationship, beating the children, shouting at the wife. And after 1 month, the king happened to pass by and he sees this scene. And he asked the minister, what happened to him now? How he got changed so much in 1 month's time? And he said, he became a member of the 99 club. 99 के फेर में पड़ गया है वो, right? This is what happens in our life when we actually live a life of expectations. We become blind to the benedictions we already have, and we don't enjoy life now, neither in future. We always live on a post-dated check. Correct? So we have to count our blessings, live a life of gratitude. Don't just live a life of expectation. Everybody is expecting something, right? Every engineering college student is thinking, थोड़े से और क्वेश्चन ठीक कर लेता तो इस कॉलेज से इस कॉलेज में चला जाता. Like somebody is in SPC is thinking I would have gone to COAP. COP वाला सोच रहा IIT में चला जाता. IIT वाला सोच रहा IIT बॉम्बे आ जाता. IIT बॉम्बे में आपको लगेगा सब लोग एकदम संतुष्ट घूम रहे हैं, राइट? बट वहाँ पे जो केमिकल वाला है वो सोच रहा है यार मैकेनिकल मिलना चाहिए था. और मैकेनिकल वन इज थिंकिंग ओ आई शुड हैव गॉट इलेक्ट्रिकल. इलेक्ट्रिकल वन इज थिंकिंग आई वुड हैव कंप्यूटर साइंस. एंड यू मे थिंक दिस इज इट, आ गया. एंड द कंप्यूटर साइंस वाला इज थिंकिंग IIT में फंस गए, MIT जाना चाहिए. Doesn't end anywhere. You have to learn to become content with what you have. Only then you can enjoy life. Otherwise, you will simply live a life of frustration. So this is a nice small video about gratitude.
Have any of you ever had, while taking soup or Indian dal, coriander leaves, basil leaves stuck in your tooth? I can see some of you nodding your heads. Have any of you ever had barbecued corns, some of those fibers stuck in your tooth? Have any of you ever had mango fiber while eating mangoes stuck in your tooth? Have any of you ever had the tail of a fennel seed stuck in your tooth? I can see a couple of you nodding there. It's quite amazing, isn't it? That when something's stuck in our tooth, the tongue just keeps going to that tooth. Until unless that stuff is out of our tooth, it just keeps going there. Now, there's 31 other teeth in our mouth. When nothing's stuck, the tongue can go there and say, hey, wow, look, there's nothing stuck here. Go to one of the other tooth where there's nothing stuck and say, hey, look, amazing, there's nothing stuck here. But just the nature of the tongue that it keeps going to where something is stuck. And surely, we have to deal with it. Whenever I travel in my handbag, I always have dental floss and a box of toothpicks with me. Just in case something is stuck, I have to take it out. Certainly, we have to deal with it. At the same time, there's a lot of other good things that we can focus on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not just the nature of the tongue. Isn't it the nature of the mind as well? When there is a problem, an issue stuck in a certain area of our life, the mind keeps going to that problem and just gets stuck into the negativity of trying to deal with it. But there's 31, or shall I say many, many more good things happening in so many different areas of our life where there's no problems, no issues stuck. Yet, the mind only keeps going to those areas where there are problems. It is necessary, therefore, for all of us that we focus on the good that is happening in our life and deal with the bad or the problems that are happening in our life. Let us not consume our minds with negativity. Let us consume our minds with positivity. Focus on the positive and deal with the negative. I remember when I was in school, we were taught a Christian psalm. Count your many blessings and name them one by one. It shall surprise you what the Lord has done. There's so many good things we've been blessed with. Let's be grateful. And therefore I say, gratitude is the attitude which gives us the fortitude to deal with the toughest challenges in our lives. Thank you.
So nice clip. I was looking for a clip on attitude, and then I saw this, and I was thinking, बाहर क्यों जाने का? घर में ही हीरो है. So it's not happy people who are grateful, it's grateful people who are happy. Right? Therefore, if one practices this element of gratitude, life starts making sense. So Dhruva was angry at the words of Suruchi, but he was more angry at the silence of Uttanpad. वो माँ ने तो जो बोला बोला, ठीक है, पिताजी क्यों शांत थे? कुछ बोलना चाहिए था. He should have spoken, he should have voiced himself. He stood beside me and defended my position. He didn't say a word. So words are very powerful. They can either make walls or they can make windows. You have to decide how do you use words. How many of you have this experience that you suddenly said something to one of your close friends or buddies and then you realized, oh, I shouldn't have done that. ये नहीं बोलना चाहिए था मुझे, ये मैं ऐसा क्यों बोल गया उसको. And then you can't do anything. An arrow released from the bow and words coming out of someone's tongue cannot be taken back. So therefore, Krishna in the Gita actually speaks, Anudvegam karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat. What kind of speech should be there? It should be non-agitating, it should be truthful, it should be pleasing, it should be beneficial. Then it will make an impact on the other person. So one should be very careful the way we use our words. Because according to research also, the thing that makes people happy over a period of time, now this was done in Harvard Medical School, and this is this professor named Robert Waldinger who has been doing this research. He's the fourth head of the research of that particular thing, where there were certain individuals who were chosen and their lives were studied to figure out what is it that actually makes people happy over a period of time. And you know what they found? It's not money, it's not big bank balance, it's not cars, it's not wonderful, places that you visit, it's relationships. People who had deep, satisfying relationships, they lived happy and healthier life as they moved forward. And what breaks relationships? Words. The way we use our tongue, the way we indiscriminately blaspheme other people. Dhruv Maharaj had actually reposed all his emotions, all his sense of security in Maharaj Uttanpad, and therefore he was frustrated. When that shelter was taken away, he was frustrated. Similarly, we repose our emotions in so many people, so many things of this world. Don't go by externals. Look at the internal content of a personality before you repose your emotions. So many boys get broken hearts. 14 फरवरी को कुछ के बनते हैं पर कईयों के टूटते भी हैं. One boy came to this young girl and he said he really wanted to impress. So he thought everybody gives normal flowers, I will bring a nice lotus flower. So he put out a lotus flower and the girl gave a jhapad. And he said, jhapad to normal tha par lotus pe jhapad. So he said, what is this? Jhapad kyun mara? Keh raha tit for tat. Keh raha तूने मुझे बीजेपी दिया, मैं तुझे कांग्रेस दिया. So many hearts are made, but many are broken also. Repose your emotions wisely. Don't go by external. दिखावे पे मत जाओ. अपनी है तो अकल लगाओ. नहीं है तो मांग के लाओ. लगाओ पर. Right? So repose your emotions very wisely. Don't be carried by externals. Dhruv Maharaj lives in anger. He runs to his shelter. That was his mother Suniti. And by this time, Suniti already comes to know through the agency of so many other people what has transpired in the palace and how Dhruva is offended and he's crying bitterly. He's not able to speak. He's just a 5-year-old boy. Look at his Kshatriya spirit. 5-year-old boy. He's just so indignant with his disrespect. And he runs to Suniti, sobbing. He's not able to utter a word. And then Suniti begins to counsel Dhruva. One of the very beautiful sections of Bhagavatam, how Suniti so maturely handles the emotions of Dhruva. Suniti does not degrade his the consciousness of Dhruva Maharaj. He says, my dear son, please do not have any kind of ill feelings towards your stepmother. Try to see the good, even in the insult that she has hurled upon you. She has told that you should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead to get a birth through her womb and become the king. That's a very good thing, to worship the Supreme Personality of God. Pick it up. Don't be consumed by this anger towards your mother, towards your stepmother. So Suniti's analysis was right. She accepted the fact that Uttanpad didn't like her so much. Sometimes we live in denial. हम accept नहीं कर पाते हैं स्थितियों को. We are all, living in a place where, we live in a mode of self-denial. And that complicates our life a lot. Right? Self-confidence is not about being the best in the world. Self-confidence is being about the best version of yourself. That's something in our control. But we are not able to accept. When Suniti accepted that Uddanpa didn't like her, that acceptance gave her the wisdom to see the good even in that emotional turmoil where her son was being misjudged like this. So you have to choose your responses wisely. There was a restaurant and there was ladies sitting, men were also sitting, and then a cockroach landed from somewhere. And you know, cockroach and ladies, it's like hot tawa with water. So as soon as the cockroach landed, the lady started screaming. And the cockroach also probably got fearful, so he jumped. And he landed on another lady's hand. So she also started screaming. So finally the cockroach jumped and landed on a waiter's hand. So the waiter was quiet. Cockroach was also quiet. He walked out, removed the cockroach, came back. So this is a traditional, this is like a case study in human behavioral. What was the problem? Was there a problem with the restaurant? Was there a problem with the cockroach? Was there a problem with the ladies? Or the waiter? क्या-क्या पढ़ाई कर सकते आप सोचिए. So much scope. And they analyzed that it's not the cockroach which was a problem. It was the inability of the ladies to deal with the cockroach that was a problem. The waiter could deal with the cockroach. Ladies couldn't deal with that cockroach. And that, led to a certain kind of reflex action. Similarly, there are various kinds of cockroaches in our life, which represent like a cockroach, which irritates us, which disturbs us, which makes us fearful. Traffic jam, Bombay local, भरा भरा, हरा भरा तो कभी होता नहीं है, हमेशा भरा भरा ही रहता है वो. और आजकल तो लोगों को ऐसा हो गया, खाली ट्रेन भी आएगी तो भी भागते हैं. तो अंदर वाले चिल्लाते, भैया ट्रेन खाली है. तो कहते हैं हम अंधविश्वासी नहीं हैं, हमें तो भागना है. We have to run. हमें सिखाया गया ट्रेन आए भागो बस. Right? So there are so many cockroaches which irritates you. Somebody is bullying you in the class. Your boss is, really bossing on you. Right? सबके सामने इज्जत उतार देता है. क्या यार? कम से कम इसके सामने तो मत उतार. केबिन में बुलाता कितना भी धोता चलता. राइट? कैंटीन में उतार दिया. अभी रेपो डेवलप करने में कितने महीने लगेंगे. राइट? So there are so many cockroaches in our life which we are not able to deal with. And we react. But that's not the best thing. You have to respond and not just react. So we all live in this circle of influence and circle of concern, and circle of influence is very small, circle of concern is very big. All of you want to manipulate your exam question paper, right? सोचो आपको बनाने को दे दें your क्वेश्चन पेपर, तो क्या लिखेंगे आप क्वेश्चन पेपर में? राम जाने पेपर बनाएगा भी नहीं बनाएगा, right? So that is beyond your circle of influence. It's a circle of concerns, and more you stay in the circle of concern, more anxiety-driven life you will live. Correct? So there was a young man. He was sleeping under a banyan tree. So one old man came and said, "Hey, क्या कर रहा है?" अरे सो रहा हूँ, आराम कर रहा हूँ. कह रहे तेरे आराम करने की उम्र है? Is this the time to just relax? He said, "What should I do?" He said, "Go to school, go to college, study." He said, "What will happen then?" He said, "You'll get a degree." अच्छा, then he said, "You'll get a job." Oh, wonderful. Then what? You'll get married. अच्छा, फिर क्या होगा? You will get children. Then what to do? उनको पढ़ाओ, उनको बड़ा करो, उनकी शादी करो, फिर क्या होगा? पोते होंगे. अच्छा, पोते होंगे. फिर क्या होगा? पोतों के साथ खेलना और आराम करना. कह रहा वही तो कर रहा था, आराम ही तो कर रहा था. बेकार में विघ्न क्यों डाले? So sometimes people have this nature to be happy and lucky going. I'm not saying getting married is a problem or anything like that. Don't take the message otherwise. The point is, when you are in the circle of influence, you can be happy without being anxiety driven. And greatness is not about what we are born with. Greatness is how do we choose to respond to situations. One, a stranger was going, and then he came across a village and he asked the child, there was one child, he said, "Are there any great men or women born in your village?" He said, "No, only children are born in our village." I was like, what's that? And that was very profound because it's not that great men and women are born. They make choices and they become. Right? Some people choose to respond, some people react. Right? So that is the maturity that we need to understand. In the market, a girl was crying bitterly. बेचारी छोटी सी बच्ची बहुत जोर जोर से रो रही थी. His mother was standing and she was saying, Jennifer, relax. बच्ची और जोर से, Jennifer, relax. And there was an old man around here. He became very angry. He said, what do you think? This 5-year-old daughter will understand this relaxing philosophy? Why are you telling her, Jennifer, relax, Jennifer, relax, Jennifer, relax? And the lady said, that's my name. I am telling myself, relax. Beti ro rahi hai, relax, don't react, don't react, don't react. So when irritating situations come in your life, what do you have to do? Jennifer, किसी और का नाम मत ले लेना, अपना ही लेना. Relax, ठंडे हो जाओ. Right? So you have to, like His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj said, that when disturbing situations come in your life, don't ask why me, ask how now. Because why me you cannot change. How now is in your control. How am I going to respond to this particular situation? That is something within our control and can change the destiny. So then Dhruv Maharaj has gone in this emotional turmoil situation to Suniti and he is unable to express his emotions. That happens sometimes. Sometimes if you express your emotions, bawal ho jayega. If you suppress your emotions, there will be an internal turmoil. Sometimes you don't have to express or suppress. You have to process your emotions. And for that, you need mature guidance, people who can actually help you deal with your emotions. Dhruva Maharaj was fortunate that he had Suniti with him. Dhruva was not able to understand the positivity in that situation. He had to be shown. He had to be shown, my dear son, here is a potential, even in this difficult situation. So therefore, we need mentors in our life to translate mundane incidents to transcendental insights. On our own, we cannot. We will not be able to do it. But if we have the guidance, the blessings and the shelter of mentors who are spiritually advanced and have a lot of wisdom, they can actually show us the positivity even in one of the most difficult circumstances and situations. So in this way, Suniti counseled Dhruva and he's asking, what does my stepmother think? I want this kingdom of my father. I want a kingdom greater than my father, greater than my grandfather, forget grandfather, greater than my great-grandfather. तो गुस्से में बोल तो दिया. So now who is great-grandfather? It is not that अच्छा 1 BHK, 2 BHK, 4 BHK. ऐसा नहीं था. His father is Uttanpad, his father is Swambhu Manu, his father is Brahma ji. So he's asking Suniti किधर मिलेगा? कि Amazon पर तो available नहीं है. It's not available on Amazon, my dear son. Such kind of strange desires only Vishnu can fulfill. You have to find Vishnu. Where do I find Vishnu? He said, sages go to the forest to find Vishnu. Going. It's not that, अच्छा ऐसा है क्या? ठीक है, थोड़ा बैठ जाता हूँ. मम्मी थोड़ा ऑरेंज जूस लाओ ना थोड़ा. बहुत आंसू बह गए मेरे. I'm feeling dehydrated. Immediately, he did not even pack his bags. He just turned around and said, I am going to find Vishnu. Because he wanted a kingdom greater than his great-grandfather. Anybody ever had any ambition anywhere close to this? लोगों से पूछो क्या बनना है? जॉब लग जाए बस. कहीं तो लग जाए. पास में लग जाए. You know, they don't even have ambition of becoming CEO or CTO or CFO. कह रहे इतना नहीं प्रभु जी, थोड़ा. बहुत एंग्जाइटी आता उधर नीचे रहने का. So our ambitions are also so puny. Here is Dhruva saying, I want to have a kingdom greater than my great-grandfather, and he's willing to work for it. He's not just daydreaming. So he started moving towards the forest. And his mother tells him, my dear Dhruva, see, look at the fortitude of the mother. He's saying, my dear Dhruva, don't feel that in the forest you will not have your mother to take care of you. Don't worry. Because you will have the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally with you to take care of you, whose heart is like millions of mothers put together. Cha beta, Vishnu ki khoj kar. कई बार कलयुग में लोग डर जाते हैं, ये हरे कृष्णा में इतना क्यों जा रहा है? सो इंडियंस आर वेरी कंफ्यूज्ड. वो पब में जाएगा तो भी प्रॉब्लम, वो हरे कृष्णा में आएगा तो भी प्रॉब्लम. तो बेचारा फुटपाथ पे बैठेगा, क्या जाए जाए किधर? व्हाट एग्जैक्टली यू वांट हिम टू डू? बेटा बस धर्म वर्म की बात करो, बहुत ज्यादा नहीं करना चाहिए, बहुत ज्यादा. Like when I started coming to Krishna Ganja, my family was very devout and everything, and they were saying, थोड़ा 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 सेमेस्टर में 1-2 बार ऐसा. हम थोड़ी मना कर रहे हैं, कृष्ण भगवान है. But and I said, हाँ थोड़ा थोड़ा जा रहे हैं, थोड़ा थोड़ा जा रहे हैं. बट जो उनको भय था शायद वो हो गया. अभी पूछते बेटा खुश है ना? मैंने कहा हाँ खुश हूँ. So Dhruv Maharaj, Mother Suniti actually encouraged him, my dear son, go ahead. This is the quality of a good mentor. He doesn't control life, he just gives direction. Move ahead. You have a personal reciprocation with Krishna. It's not just Suniti ने कहा चल मैं भी चल रही हूँ साथ में, और किचन विचन साथ में ले लो, साथ में अपना लगाएंगे, कुकिंग करें. पूरा मेनू बना दिया 6 महीने का, ढोकला इडली सांभर सब कुछ तैयार, साउथ इंडियन नॉर्थ इंडियन. नहीं, गया लड़का. And mother also gave her blessings and moved forward. So while he's going, he meets Narad Muni. Because when you are very serious about attaining Krishna, Krishna becomes interested in you. When you take interest in him, he gets interested in you. And the way he gets interested in you is, he sends his representative. Check कर. कद्दू पका है, ये ऐसी आवाज कर रहा है. So Narad Muni approached Dhruv Maharaj and he started saying, my dear Dhruva, what happened? And he related the whole thing. And he said, oh, sometimes mothers may chastise very heavily. You should not take this very seriously. Just go back home. Have a candy and go back home. Relax. Vishnu, do you think it is so easy? And I am the chancellor of that university. कोई admission नहीं ले रहा है विष्णु को पकड़ने के लिए. तुम विष्णु को ढूंढने चला है. And he tries to test him. He tries to send him away. And Dhruv Maharaj said, excuse me, we are here for business, man. I said, can you help me find Vishnu? If not, then we can meet later. You know. And Narad Muni was impressed. Wow, क्या determination है छोकरे की. You know, it's like some devotee from the temple comes and tells us, इतना पढ़ाई कर रहा है, 16 माला मत कर, 2 ही कर. कह रहा ठीक है प्रभु जी. Immediately मान जाएंगे हम. There will be no, difference of opinion. नहीं प्रभु जी ऐसा कैसे कह रहे हो, 16 से 2 कैसे हो जाएगा, पता नहीं हो जाएगा. नहीं प्रभु जी ने बोला करना है. I am very, very obedient to Prabhuji. Right? Dhruv Maharaj was not going to listen to all that. He was ambition driven. So the Narad Muni counsels him to be peaceful and gives him tips about how to deal with this world. He reveals to him how you should go about and deal, find out Vishnu, but also he gives a nice instruction of how you should deal with this world. And he said there are 3 kinds of people that you come across in life. People who are better than you, people who are below you, people who are equal to you. And he said when you come across people who are better than you, become envious. Correct? When people who are lower than you, you kind of start showing off. Hum kaun hai? It's like you go in train and then you come across somebody from some remote town in some remote city, and then you say, "Aap kahan se?" "Bombay se hain hum." कोई पूछता नहीं है शहर में, फिर भी बोलता बम्बई से हैं हम, दिखाने के लिए. तो बम्बई में जैसे पता नहीं क्या हो. मुंबई में क्या चला रहा हो तुम कुछ, right? So we try to show off to people who are inferior to us. We become envious of people who are better than us. And then with those who are equal, we compete with them. Narad Muni is saying, don't do that. It will make you miserable. Gunadikam mudam lip says, when you see somebody better than you, be inspired. Appreciate them. Follow them. When you find somebody inferior to you, extend a helping hand. Jai Shri Radha Gopinath ki jai, Shri Gaur Nithai ki jai, Shri Gopal ji ki jai. And when you find somebody equal to you, make friendship. In this way, you will be able to live happily without any problems. So don't worry. Dhruva acknowledges the wisdom and honestly accepts his own shortcomings. He said, I can't just follow this very high profound philosophy. You tell me something by which I can fulfill my ambition. And then Narad Muni reveals to him that, go to Vrindavan, perform these austerities and penances, and you will find Vishnu. So generally, there are no shortcuts to success. Everybody wants success very easily. Everybody wants to be Ambani without working like him. Correct? सबको बस सीधा एंटीला चाहिए. उसके नीचे जो काम किया है उसको वो सब नहीं चाहिए. वो तू कर, ये मेरे को दे दे. Right? But success is there's no shortcuts. They don't exist. Don't search for them also. Even if you get success with some shortcut, you may have public victory, but in personal life you might be a failure. You live a hollow lifestyle. So private victory is how you judge yourself. You have to ask this question to yourself: am I satisfied with myself? That's a very tough question. Not everybody has the courage to ask this also. Am I satisfied with myself? And you should compete with yourself, not just always with others, right? So Dhruv Maharaj, he had this one-pointed determination to achieve his goal, right? And Narad Muni was impressed with this. So we have to be focused. If you're talking of an ambition, you have to be focused, correct? Like once one student came to Socrates and he said, I want to learn, I want to gain knowledge. What is the qualification to actually get some knowledge? And Socrates took him to a small pond in a boat, and then he threw him from the boat and dunked him inside. And then he was about to die, so he just pulled him out and gasped for air, then pulled him on the boat. He said, this is what is required to get knowledge. अरे क्या? ये क्या? मतलब मरना पड़ेगा क्या? He said, no. He said, the way you were looking for air, the day you will look for knowledge, that's the day you begin to learn. So why is it sometimes young men are not able to keep their focus on their goal? The goal is not really calling them in a way by which they can actually relinquish all their pleasures and just completely get focused on it. You have to ask deeper questions. Why am I pursuing something in life? Dhruv Maharaj was focused. His purpose was very clear. He wanted a kingdom greater than his great-grandfather. And he was performing the austerities. So finally in the forest, Dhruv Maharaj began to perform his austerities exactly as Narad Muni had said. So he has the world record of getting Vishnu in 1 semester only. Right? 6 months, darshan of Vishnu, done. ज़्यादा ऐसा लंबा नहीं खींचा. तो यहाँ तो बीटेक नहीं होती 4 साल में लोगों से. विष्णु के दर्शन कैसे करें? Right? So in the first month, every third day he would eat a kapitta fruit. Kapitta is a fruit which is eaten by monkeys, generally, traditionally, in the forest. आजकल तो बेचारा जो मिलता खाता है, उसको भी नहीं मिलता अपनी इच्छा का. Kapitta fruit. Every third day he would eat kapitta fruit. In the second month, every 6th day, some dried leaves and grass. वो वाली ग्रास नहीं, बम्बई वाली ग्रास नहीं. बम्बई में ग्रास का कुछ और कॉनोटेशन होता है, समझ रहे हो ना? वो नहीं. सो ड्राइड लीव्स और घास, जो गाय बैल खाते हैं ना, वो वाली घास खाते थे. इन द थर्ड मंथ, एवरी 9th day ही वुड ड्रिंक सम वाटर. यहाँ तो पांडव निर्जल एकादशी आता है तो उसके 1 हफ्ते पहले लोग पानी ज्यादा पीना चालू कर देते हैं. कह रहे क्या हुआ? वो कैलेंडर में बड़ा लाल करके कर देते लोग बेस में, ऐसा एकदम. कह रहे क्या है, प्रलय आ रही है क्या इस दिन? नहीं प्रभु जी, आप नहीं समझेंगे, पांडव निर्जल एकादशी है. राइट? खाना पीना सोच के बस पीने ही लगते हैं लोग. राइट? सो एवरी 9th day he would just drink some water. In the 4th month, every 12th day he would breathe. सांस लेना भी छोड़ दिया. सो इमिटेशन का तो सवाल ही नहीं उठता. आसपास भी नहीं फटक सकते हम. राइट? वो 3 दिन में 1 बार खाते थे, हम 1 दिन में 3 बार खाते हैं. The numbers are only jumbled up, quite close, but. And in the 5th month, he became master of yoga. He could stand on one leg, and he said it disturbed the cosmic balance, and all the demigods became very concerned. He came running to Vishnu. He said, "What's going on here? What does this young boy want? Why is he performing so much in austerities?" Vishnu said, "Don't worry, he is my devotee. I'm going to pacify him. I'm going. He wants me only. Don't worry. तुम सब जाओ अपना पीछे जाओ. क्या है? बार बार डिस्टर्ब करता है right? Just keep doing the right thing. Dhruva became famous in the cosmic sense just by doing the right thing. You don't need Facebook to be famous. You just need to do the right thing. World will notice you. Don't be impatient. लोग क्या वो सेल्फी खींच के फेसबुक पे डालो, क्या भला हुआ दुनिया का. Like I was going to IIT Kanpur, so from Lucknow, driver was driving me, and one point so this is very strange. This was the time when the chief minister had just changed, and the color of the dress was something similar. so, so in Lucknow, as soon as I got done, I was coming out the airport, and then people were like looking at me and they were like smiling. And I was like. And then on top of it, the driver who was driving me, he was also wearing saffron only. तो मैं उसको बोला तू क्यों पहन के आया ये सब? कह रहा आजकल इसका बहुत भाव है सर. अभी आप बैठे हो ना, टोल भी नहीं देना पड़ेगा अपने को. मैंने कहा ये भाई, you should pay all toll taxes. We should follow the government. And then he's driving me, and then the Ganga comes, and then he said, "Sir, this is a very auspicious spot. Ganga is flowing." I was offering away. So he said, "This is called selfie point." क्या बात, selfie point. And he said, "Sir, this is also called suicide point." मैंने क्या बोल रहा है? कह रहे हाँ सर, in last 6 months, so many people have died while taking selfie. तो मैं सोच रहा था मरने से पहले पोस्ट भी किया क्या? Last shot. So people are becoming too self-conscious with all these things. See, दिखने में तो परफ्यूम की बॉटल भी सुंदर लगती है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं पी लोगे उसको. Don't go by externals, go by the content. And when you do something really tangible for the world will notice it. You don't have to run after people to catch them and say, मुझे देख, मुझे like कर. So, Kaliyuga anxieties are so variety, After posting, there is anxiety. किसी ने like ही नहीं किया अभी तक. रात post किया था, सुबह तक like ही नहीं हुआ है. Such anxieties, right? Keep doing the right thing. Wherever you are, just keep doing the right thing. The world will notice if you're doing the right thing. Time will come. Have patience. So then in this way, Prahlad is performing austerities and Lord Vishnu appears. Dhruva becomes very ecstatic, seeing Vishnu is resplendently beautiful. Beyond any kind of description of this material world, he was so resplendently beautiful. Dhruva's all senses are being attracted, and he begins to pray to Lord. This small child doesn't know anything, so the Lord comes and touches with his conch shell, and Dhruva becomes completely enlightened. He offers such beautiful prayers. And Lord then blesses him. He said, "My dear son, please ask what you want." He said, "My dear Lord, I'm sorry actually to ask you for anything, because I was looking for broken pieces of glass, but I found the immortal diamond." What was that immortal diamond? That immortal diamond is you, my dear Lord. And I got this opportunity because of grace of Narada. His association was another diamond in my life, which led me to this diamond. I don't want any of those riches and, position of being greater than Brahma. And Vishnu said, no. Manga tha, lena to padega. He said, "My dear Lord, please don't give me." He said, "No, take." So my dear Dhruva, and he gives him benediction. He said, "Now you will live a life of 36,000 years ruling this earth, and your senses will remain undwindled, and you will enjoy the sovereignty and all kind of pleasures and everything else. And after that, I award you my own abode of Shvetadvipa, and it will be known by your name, Dhruvaloka. Therefore, my dear Dhruva, accept this." Because Vishnu might be thinking, "अरे यार, लोग भविष्य में क्या बोलेंगे? बेचारे ने मांगा, इसका मन ही फेर दिया." तो अपना तो ऑलरेडी धंधा इतना कम चल रहा है कलयुग में, और दुकान बंद हो गया. लोग ऑलरेडी डरे रहते हैं, हरी मतलब सब ले जाएंगे. हे भगवान, कड़ा खतरा है. राइट? You take, you enjoy, and then eventually you'll come back to me. So Dhruva got more than he desired, something which he could not even conceive of. But how does Krishna gives? Krishna will always give you more than what you expect, provided you become purified. He doesn't say no, he just delays. Because he's concerned, like a loving mother, that if I give him this, it should not degrade his consciousness. Ultimately, Krishna is interested in only one thing, to get you back. तो आपको लगा रहे यार ये बड़े खतरे वाले लोग हैं सब, मतलब इनका अपना आपस में चल रहा है कुछ लग रहा है. And Krishna does not interfere with your free will, but he wants to see that you eventually come back to him. So he might delay some benedictions. He will not deny. If it's good for you, it will come to you. There's no harm, there's no fear in approaching the Supreme Personality of God. And moreover, you will get more than you expect. Believe me. Therefore, akama sarvakamo va mokshakama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purushapuram. Whether you have desires, no desires, full of desires, whatever it is, approach Vishnu, approach Krishna for fulfilling them. So then Dhruva in this whole process realized that the true ambition in life is to actually unearth this hidden potential in our hearts, which is to love Krishna, serve Krishna, be with Krishna. In this way, Dhruva Maharaj begins to pray. Bhaktim moho pravahatam tvai me prasango bhuyad ananta mahatam amalashayanam yenanjasolbanamaro vyasanam bhavabdim neshe bhavadguna kathamritapanamatta. What will you ask if Vishnu comes in front of you? What will you ask? हम तो पहले अपना गूगल कीप में लिस्ट रेडी देखें, भगवान देख ये देख ले, मैं सब बोल नहीं पाएगा, देख लो थोड़ा प्लीज. और मैं विल टेक हिज व्हाट्सएप नंबर, मैं पोस्ट करता हूँ, सब बोल नहीं पाऊंगा. What will you ask? Here is Dhruva asking. He is seeing Vishnu face to face, something which is unimaginable, and he is saying, "My dear Lord, I don't want these riches of this world. Give me the association of your devotees." वो चाहिए मेरे को. ध्रुव महाराज क्या मांग रहे हैं? जो आप सब लोगों के पास है. क्या? भक्तों का संग. That is the most desirable thing in this world, which Dhruva is actually exemplifying. He's seeing Vishnu, but he's praying for association. So value, always stay in good association. Value that good association that you have received and take advantage of it. So in this way, there are several stories which can be quoted, but we have paucity of time. Dhruv Maharaj, then he comes back from the forest after he sees Vishnu. He is coming back and everyone is transformed. Just looking at Dhruv Maharaj, everyone is transformed. Just by hearing about Dhruv Maharaj, even his stepmother Suruchi is transformed. Dhruv Maharaj is offering his obeisance in the lotus feet of Suruchi and begging her blessings. Jai Shri Radha Gopinath ki, Jai Shri Gaunitai ki, Jai Shri Gopal ji ki jai. Why Dhruv Maharaj was able to create such an impact and transformation? Because the way he dealt with the insult. He took shelter of Krishna and became a better version of himself. There are certain problems in life which you will not be able to solve, and don't try to solve also. You transcend them by becoming a better version of yourself, by taking shelter of the Lord. All problems are not meant to be solved and need to be solved. But who will tell you the difference? Only with your mature spiritual intelligence you can actually figure out, where do I put my consciousness? So Dhruva receives the blessings of everybody, and then after he rules the planet, he, very nicely, and then finally his brother Uttam actually once dies while fighting with the Yakshas, and in order to take revenge from the Yakshas, Dhruva fights, and he goes on to extreme of killing hundreds and millions of Yakshas. This is a long story. But this is an important thing, how we all have this tendency to lose balance. एक्सट्रीम हो जाता है कोई कोई. एग्जाम के टाइम में गीता बहुत याद आती है, पूरा वैराग्य आ जाता है उसमें. प्रभु जी इस समय क्या रखा है? मैंने कहा इसमें वो रखा है जो तुझे पूरे सेमेस्टर पढ़ना था, वो रखा है इसमें. कि नहीं प्रभु जी, पर इन सब का क्या लाभ? People become very philosophical. When exam time is there, the night before the exam time is like the best time to conduct a Gita class. But the people who would come, You will not be able to see them after the exams will be over. You know, people become so philosophical. I was in Kurukshetra, you know, one boy was walking with me, you know, going for the dinner, and he looks at a dog sleeping in the corridor. And he said, देख क्या जिंदगी है यार, देख मजा कर रहा है. हम यहाँ घिसे जा रहे हैं, घिसे जा रहे हैं, घिसे जा रहे हैं. I don't know क्या हो रहा है. So people go to extremes. So when there is time to study, they pick up Gita and Mala. कृष्ण का नाम लो. अभी कुछ नहीं हो सकता. भगवान का नाम लो. We all have a tendency to lose balance actually. But Krishna is not a God who encourages people leading an off-balance life. Right? Yukta ahar viharasya yukta cheshtasu karmasu yukta sapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. You study, you recreate, you have vacation, you play, you also, you know, practice Krishna consciousness. All the limbs have to be there. You have to live a balanced lifestyle. Right? So you have physical, emotional, professional, and spiritual needs. All these things need to be balanced. And when you live a balanced lifestyle, only then you can become steadily Krishna conscious. So then Manu comes, reminds him to stop, and Dhruva Maharaj ceases fighting. And while he was fighting, at one point of time, these yakshas, they are born warriors. They like to fight. When they see blood, they become excited. Right? आप और हम तो भाग जाएंगे, हाय 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 ये क्या हो गया. Right? We like action only on the cinema screen. हमारे सामने कोई पिटने लगे तो मैं नहीं जानता ऐसा कौन है. आपका दोस्त ही वो पिट जाएगा वो तो. Right? But yakshas, they like to fight. So they were all enthused. So they started fighting with Dhruva Maharaj. At one point of time, Dhruva Maharaj was completely covered with a shower of arrows as if a dense cloud had covered the sun. And all the demigods are shouting, alas, alas, what has happened to Dhruva Maharaj? And all the sages then come up and they remind Dhruva, my dear Dhruva, please chant the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Please chant the holy names. You need sages, you need people who are living a devout spiritual life to remind you when you're in struggling situations of what is the value, where is the shelter. We don't deny that you should not do the needful in your life, but ultimately you should understand where is the ultimate shelter coming from. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, in the association, we are reminded what is of importance. He was told to connect with the divine in that most inaccessible surrounding. He could not have meditated there like he did several thousand years back. The only thing he could have done was, with desperation, cry out Krishna's holy names. And just like Krishna was accessible earlier, Krishna was accessible now through the medium of the divine sound. So in Kali Yuga, you know, odds are too strong. The temptations are too much. How can you handle just on your own? We have to take shelter of the chanting of the holy name. So when we chant the holy names in japa every single day, that's your personal time with Krishna. Spend time with the Lord, chanting very attentively, offenselessly. ISKCON के पास कुछ magic नहीं है. We don't have a magic wand by which we can transform you. Abracadabra, abracadabra, abracadabra. And तेरे को झटका लगेगा डर करके तू हो गया चल शुद्ध next. No. The secret is in the beat bag. The secret is in the chanting of the holy names. That's what Prabhupada traveled all the way to America to give to people, chanting of the holy names. And one who takes it up will be benefited. Right? So when we connect with the divine through japa, through kirtan, when we come together through the playing of musical instrument in a festive, spirited manner, when we actually take shelter of the holy name, our heart gets purged out of all the impurities and Krishna fills it up with that sweetness. And when you taste that sweetness, then you get the strength to say no to temptation because you have a higher taste. When you have tasted gulab jamun after gulab jamun and rasmalai and rasgulla and the pineapple butter halwa which is there in the dinner, then you say, Prabhuji, lecture jaldi khatam karo. Right? When you taste that, then you will not go around and pick up a chewing gum and chew it upon. Will you? Disgusting. आगे describe मत करना बस. इतना ही बहुत है. Right? We all are hankering for that higher taste which Krishna is giving in the form of the chanting of his holy names. Don't stop yourself. Go ahead and plunge. अभी तो तुम जवान हो, क्या करना है जीवन में? अभी, राइट? पढ़ाई होगी, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा एक जॉब होगा, और तो कुछ नहीं है. Experience the transformation that comes by chanting of the holy names of Sri Krishna. So Dhruva comes back like the sun, and then the final journey of his life is being described. How Dhruva retires to Badrika Ashram and spends his last day in the association of sadhus. And even personality like Dhruv Maharaj had a son who was very spiritually evolved, but the ministers thought that he's a stunted personality. Bhagavatam is time and again showing no matter how perfect your material life is, there will be always one but. एक किंतु परंतु जरूर होगा. सब कुछ ठीक है पर. जॉब भी ठीक है, बॉस भी ठीक है पर. घर के अंदर, घर का नाम सुख शांति सदन है पर. Right? There will always be some but which actually comes in our life. Just to show us material life is never going to be perfect. Don't try to also make it perfect. Try your best. Seek opportunities to serve and not perfection, because it doesn't exist. There will always be some shortcoming here and there. 19-20 तो होता ही है. जिंदगी का नाम है समझौता. जिंदगी क्या है? समझौता एक्सप्रेस है वो. ठीक है ना? तो समझौता एक्सप्रेस में बैठ के राजधानी के सपने नहीं देखना चाहिए. समझौता एक्सप्रेस, कॉम्प्रोमाइज. नो, आई एम नॉट सेइंग कॉम्प्रोमाइज. अच्छा प्रभु जी ऐसा है तो ठीक है, माला कोई और कर लेगा, हम कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर लेंगे. No, I'm saying material life. You will not always get everything as per your expectation. Be satisfied with what you receive by your honest endeavor, and then focus on your spiritual substance. Right? Perfection is important. Opportunity is important over perfection. So in this way, Dhruv Maharaj finally, the day comes when he's about to be taken back to the spiritual world. Vaikuntha plane descends, Nanda and Sunanda comes. And then Dhruv Maharaj offers his obeisances to all the sages there. He did not go about and showing, ले देख मेरे लिए आया. तुम कब से लगे हुए हो, तुम्हारे लिए कुछ नहीं हुआ है, थोड़ा जाग के जब क्या करो हैं. सोते रहते सारे के सारे साधु सब हैं. No, he went and begged blessings from everyone. He was the one who was getting this benediction going back to Godhead, but he was seeking blessings of everyone. He could understand this blessing has come upon me because of the association of these personalities. I owe my life to you. He performed his sadhana, inspired the Vaikuntha. हमारा वैकुंठ एयरप्लेन आ जाए तो बीट बैग इधर ही छोड़ छाड़ के भाग लेंगे, कहीं छूट ना जाए. बंबई से वैसे ही ट्रेन में पकड़ने की आदत है तो भागेंगे पीछे. Dhruva went and took blessings of everyone. And then when everybody blessed, he boarded the plane, and then he's thinking. His memory went down the memory lane 39,995 years back. 35,995 years back to his mother. How can I go back to Godhead all alone? What's going to happen to my mother Suniti? That's it. He didn't even say anything. But Nanda and Sunanda said, look at the plane going in front. Your mother is already on the way. Suniti was going back to the spiritual world before her son, just because the son remembered gratefully what somebody had done to him in the beginning of his Krishna consciousness. And Suniti was not that somebody would given big lectures or aisa kuch. No. She had just told, go to Vishnu. Just give certain direction. And then because of that act, she was happy seeing Dhruva's accomplishment. See, when she received such grace and blessings. So Dhruv Maharaj was very humble in spite of he had an acquisition, he had an achievement which was never had by anybody in the past, and which never anybody would have in the future. Still he was humble. We get some job with some 6-digit salary, we become puffed up. I'm on the top of the world. No, why? There are so many people greater than us in this world. Be humble. And when Vijay and Vinay comes together, Vijay means victory, Vinay means humility. When humility and victory comes together, it's only possible by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When you see these two things manifesting in someone's life, अंडरस्टैंड देव कृपा है. हमारे पास ना तो विजय है ना विनय, तो कम से कम विजय से पहले विनय तो आ जाए. लेट अस बी हम्बल, राइट? सो फाइनली Suniti was going back to the spiritual world, and Suniti did not do any austerities and everything else, but she was appreciative. Now please don't misunderstand this, that अच्छा ऐसा है क्या, तो सब तुम 16 माला करो, बेस में मैं अप्रिशिएट करता बैठूंगा सबको. क्या कर रहे प्रभु जी, अच्छा हो गया, अच्छा हो गया, ठीक है, आप भी करो, आप भी करो. मंगल आरती, हाँ सब 3:30 बजे उठा करो रोज सुबह, हाँ वेरी गुड वेरी गुड. मैं कंबल लगा के सोता हूँ. No, that's not the point. She was doing what she could do, the best she could do. She was not competing with Dhruv Maharaj. अरे ये छोकरा मेरा 6 महीने में करा है, मैं भी कम से कम 6 दिन तो करके आऊँ. I should also go at least perform austerities. आगे इसकी माँ हूँ. No. She was doing what she was told to do. She was supposed to do the best she could do. She received Krishna's grace because she was appreciative of Dhruva's advancement. She was instrumental in Dhruva's advancement. So when you help somebody come closer to Krishna, you also receive Krishna's grace. You also become dear to Krishna because you have brought somebody else to the lotus feet of Krishna. So if you bring somebody to Prerna festival, you become dear to Krishna. Who doesn't want to be dear to Krishna? कोई है? हाथ खड़ा करो, सब तरफ से देख रहे हो. Right? You want to be dear to Krishna, all the obstacles and troubles will be removed when you actually help others. As they say, when you see something beautiful in someone, tell them. Appreciate. Tell them. For you, it may take 1 second. For them, it can make a lifetime of difference. Appreciate people. Even amongst devotees, when you're living together, we take things for granted. But when we live with appreciation, spiritual life becomes easy internally. It becomes smooth. So it's a classic example of power of association, how Narad Muni's association transformed a mundane ambition to transcendental reciprocation with Krishna. This could have not happened without Narad Muni's presence. Right? Therefore, there's no harm in being ambitious. So be ambitious, but for Krishna and with Krishna. And when you do that, all auspiciousness actually comes along in life. So, to be inspired by love is a far more powerful force than being inspired by greed or lust. And the classic example of someone being empowered and being inspired by love and not by greed and lust and having an impeccable achievement which the world will remember for eons to come is none other than His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He had an ambition. Can you imagine this ambition? Ambition beyond comprehension. Nobody believed except Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then later on Srila Prabhupada. Nobody ever believed Prithvyate Achyadi Nagar Adi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Hoi Binam. In every town and village, the holy names of Lord Gauranga will be chanted. Srila Prabhupada was a householder in Allahabad. And he had given 1 floor to the devotees to conduct programs of the Gaudiya Math. And one day, one devotee was speaking about this particular verse, Prithvyate Achyade Nagaradi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Hoi Bimurnam, Mahaprabhu's declaration that in every town and village my names will be chanted. And this devotee said, oh, Mahaprabhu must have meant India, Bharat. And then Prabhupada overheard this, and then Prabhupada was walking down the staircase and he looked behind on this gentleman. He said, someday, some foolish disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur will make this happen. Then he stepped down, a few more steps down. So this devotee was thinking, maybe he's talking about me, meri baat ho rahi hai shayad. And then Prabhupada looked around and said, and it's not you. Why? Because you don't have faith. But someday somebody will fulfill who has this faith in the instructions of Sri Guru. So it was Lord Chaitanya's ambition. This is the perfection of ambition. What is bhakti? Bhakti means to embrace the ambition of someone else with greater and more powerful enthusiasm than yourself. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had this ambition, let this name be chanted in all town and village. Saraswati Thakur embraced this vision. Srila Prabhupada took it up. And then the ambition is being passed down. If not whole Prithvi, at least your college. At least your wing in the college. at least your roommate. Kahin to chalu kar. Right? To share this gift of Krishna consciousness with others. And His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj writes in his book, The Journey Within, a masterpiece, he writes, he said, the willingness to endure difficulties for the sake of serving others is the hallmark of a true seeker of absolute truth. The willingness to endure difficulties for the sake of serving others is the hallmark of a true seeker who is seeking the absolute truth, who is actually trying to please Krishna. And in giving Krishna to others is the most satisfying form of difficulties which the soul can actually experience, because that brings them closer to Krishna. So, when you have association, that leads to right aspirations. Aspiration leads to ambition. Ambition leads to action. Action leads to satisfaction. And then satisfaction leads to ultimate destination, provided we begin right with the association of sadhus. The transforming aspect in Dhruva was not just his determination, but the intervention of Narad Muni. You may all be ambitious, that's wonderful. Now just find one representative Narad Muni who can guide your life with that same thirst that you're carrying for some material ambition. He can redirect it towards Krishna's lotus feet. In that way, you will become happy, he will become happy, and the world will be benefited. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.